No Nut November?
It's a challenge for the boys, which no one has ever succeeded at.
Do you believe that all adults have sexual needs?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it too.
Most definitely.
Every adult has sexual needs.
Humans and dolphins are the only ones that have sex for pleasure, so we do have sexual needs.
Even kids.
Should lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs watching porn?
Nah, go work out.
Because if they're not getting it, they should get it themselves.
They need to step their game up.
Why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because it's not the same thing as having sex.
Because they're horn dogs.
Because it's human nature for them to want to have sex, the P and the V.
If we acknowledge that all adults have sexual needs, why do men have to pretend like they don't need sex in order to get it?
It's the way life been.
Because men have been stigmatized to always wanting sex over relationship and emotional needs, and women.
Romance is a game of
Women want sex even more, I think.
convincing someone that you don't need them, so they feel like they need to come after you.
Why is it the minute he's thirsty,
That's why push-pull technique works perfect.
needy, or vulnerable, it's a turnoff for most women?
Because like they come off like clingy and they just try too much. Like just calm down.
I think that if a woman has her eye on the man, it doesn't matter.
Like, if I think a guy is hot, I will fuck him.
Because I feel a majority of women are going after the top 1 or 5%, and because those men already are established and women can basically go to them, any man that isn't them is deemed to be worthless or unworthy. So them trying to go after them, women see them as kind of like ilk.
How likely are women willing to have sex with only men out of pity?
Not
Why not?
because they have a bunch of other dudes coming after them who aren't, they're not feeling pity towards, I guess.
Because they don't want a lonely man. They want a man who has a life ahead of them and are going to go for their goals.
If sex is a need, why is it sold at a luxury price?
Because there's guys that'll pay for it.
$50. $50, it's nothing.
Typically spoiled beyond their needs, while men are typically deprived of their basic needs.
Whore, 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 whore.
Because that's just how it is. I feel like women just have the, hey, this is what I want, and guys get pleasure out of pleasuring their woman.
Because the girls are
Bitch. No.
like a prized treasure. You have to pay and buy them a lot of shit in order to get what you want.
Why are women typically spoiled beyond their needs, while men are typically deprived of their basic needs?
That's a good question. Women skin like super thin, so it's like
It's like, hi.
It's
you
like
know,
they
I'm
have
like,
less,
hi.
Like they need it, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, no. What the fuck?
Why should men
What
have
did you said? The fuck?
any obligation
Like,
to
hi, like...
fill women's emotional needs if women don't feel any obligation to fill men's physical needs?
We try to fill men's physical needs, but if it gets boring at times. Like, if you're not giving us the same reciprocation of emotional, like, we need emotional support, and I will suck your dick, okay? But other than that, like, if you're not emotionally supporting me, you don't deserve to get your dick sucked. I just don't know a woman that won't fulfill their man's needs, like physical needs. But I do know many men that won't fulfill women's emotional needs, so I guess I'm stuck.
What is the meaning of post-nut clarity?
This interview devolved so fast. Post-nut clarity. That moment when all the horniness floods out of your body. It's a beautiful, magical fucking moment when you can see all things.
Like when you have sex with an ugly guy, but you're just doing it to do it, and then after you're like, why did I do that?
Isn't a man more likely to be frustrated if he doesn't have that relief?
Yeah.
So why is porn and masturbation often frowned upon, including by other men?
Because you should be able to control your needs and not be able to masturbate and watch porn.
It's like an obsession. I don't know. I feel like if a guy is constantly watching porn, he's going to have high expectations of what a girl can do or what his wife can do, and he's not going to be satisfied, so he's always going to be looking for more.
He's only watching porn because he don't have any woman in his life. It's the easiest way to express that.
All men should masturbate.
Why?
Because if you have a need, you should satisfy it and not go find it with someone else.
Not all men, every human.
Unless you're single.
Don't you think all these guys watching porn would be having sex if they could?
I believe that's true, yeah. I believe guys who watch porn are just deprived of sex, and they don't have the option of girls who want to have sex with them.
What is No Nut November?
it's a challenge for the boys to not nut for a month, which no one has ever succeeded at.
It's a
Yes.
really hard month to get through, but if you make it through, you're a whole new man.
Why are men told to control their urges while women go out and have a hoe phase?
I feel like society is kind of holding men back from what happened in the past. So now women are coming back and saying we should be able to do whatever we want and a man should do what he's supposed to do.
Men have
So we can be, running around sucking everybody's dick, and you you're my wallet, you pay for everything, shit. Good.
phases their whole lives.
I mean, do you think that your average man is gonna have a hoe phase before he becomes successful?
I hope so. I hope he has it before he meets me.
Men want a hoe phase, they just can't get any girls because they have no game or they're creepy.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex while also shamed for trying to get sex?
I guess, like, the bros making fun you don't get sex, and, like, I don't know. That's really what it is.
If you get it, okay, hoorah, your homies are probably gonna dab you up. But for you begging for it, you look like an Indian man on Facebook trying to get contact with me, like, hey beautiful, hey beautiful, hey beautiful, this and that. You look
That's so true, man.
like a fucking hoe, and I'm gonna think you have a bunch of STDs.
Why does our society shame simps and incels rather than see them as victims of addiction and loneliness?
I feel like we shame Sims because girls nowadays want these tough guys that'll cheat on them, but the true Sims that are giving their full hearts to these girls and treating them right just get bitched at for simping to them.
Because they're boring, man.
I think it would be fair enough to say that some of them could be victims, but there's also a point where it's if women don't have sex with you, then you probably started out in some form of creepy way or maybe just awkward, but victims is strong.
Woman like when you are like, I'm the man. I go in the room, I everybody done. That's like...
And they're starved for food?
I feel yes, they are, but it's like not their fault. They don't have the money to get food, so I don't feel they should be shamed for it.
So why are they shamed when they're starved for sex?
It's a great question. I cannot answer you.
It's when they think that they're owed it that it becomes a problem, and that's when they get shamed.
Is it any wonder why men's mental health is in crisis?
100%, because the men just get treated like shit all the time, and the girls are just getting treated so well all the time, and they can't see that men need the same treatment.
Why do men shame women for having high body counts while also complaining how hard it is to get laid?
Because they're insecure. They're insecure.
If you're with me, you're my property. That's like buying like a new G-Wagon that's like, how much? 250,000? You're buying it full price, like every spec AMG, blah blah. A month in, you found out like he's like driven. He has like 100 miles on the clock. The fuck?
Insecure.
You are insecure.
Do you think bad sex is better than masturbation?
Yes.
No.
What are your thoughts on masturbation before a big date or before men go out hunting for women? Do you think it will drain his sex drive or make him more chill and not so thirsty?
Depends on the dude. And the antidepressants.
Hey, Coochie baby! Her name is Coochie. I love it.
Why is male
Typical.
sexuality so stigmatized while gay and female sexuality is celebrated?
It is Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
It's
This woman, bro, they saw some advertisement on Instagram or something and the Happy Pride, they don't even understand what it means if you actually ask them. Like,
nice in today's political climate to spin men as predatory, and sexual shit is a really easy way to do that.
I think we have a very big agenda that's trying to kind of make men a little weaker, easier to control. And so promoting certain things aids in that.
Like the mask.
Why are women so welcoming of gay men, but when it comes to women talking about straight men, guys are dogs, creeps, and perverts?
Because, the gay men are like their gay best friends that they could talk to, have the slumber parties with, but they get mad at the actual men for wanting action.
I mean, it'd be the same reason I'm probably more open towards women when they come up to me at a bar is because I'm not scared of their ulterior motives.
You're...
Can you think of any sexuality that's more shamed and profited off of than male heterosexuality?
Can I think of one? No.
Do you think that's a problem?
No.
Why not?
I mean, you don't hear about it, I guess.
You know, it's this
Woman in her 40s, 50s, they are dumb, man.
straight white man goes, he's pretty much like ruled the world forever. So,
Well, men are expected to hold up the world, you know, keep things together. And at the same time, the wants and needs of those men, nobody really cares about. But at the same time, if they start to ignore their job, the world falls apart and everybody shames them. So it's kind of a giant circle.
So,
Can you think of any?
that society is catering to the minority. I think that society is just finally not. Society is finally just speaking up against the hate and discrimination that's been happening to the minority for centuries.
In the past, it hasn't been as well for the gays and the women to have like a nice life. So like it hasn't been. It's not really our fault. It's how the society was created back then. And now that it's better in today's day, it shouldn't be put on us men in today's society that it's our fault that it was bad back then.
how was it bad though? At least we had like normal woman. Nowadays we only have it's literally a every single you see at the bar. Or I live in the Netherlands, like almost every woman is a true bro. Body count 50 plus, like easy. It's disgusting.